Welcome to Limit Break TCG. We're back with some more Dragon Ball. Finally, after a while, a long hiatus. Um, give you all a little background on that. We used to play. So Bandai has their Dragon Ball Super IP card game split into two different games now. We have the old game, which was Masters, which is some of my older content on this channel, and then now they've split the game into a new form, which is it plays a lot like the old one, just with a little bit more refined effects and a little bit. I don't want to say simpler because I definitely wouldn't say simpler, but just a little bit more refined, a little bit more easier to understand. Maybe a little bit easier for a public people to get into, while still keeping a competitive feel. So this is Dragon Ball Fusion World. So my earlier content, as I said, is Dragon Ball Masters. My locals and I no longer play Masters. I do have some decks still built. For a rainy day in case we decide to bring it back, I'll have something built. But for the most part, we're moving forward with Fusion World, and it's been fun. We're supposed to be getting product in at Sanctuary Games come December, with tournament kits arriving as soon as October, possibly. So if you guys want to come join us for Super at Dragon Ball Super at Sanctuary, we get together, as I said on the box opening, we get together on Saturdays from 1 to 5. And Wednesdays they get together around 6, just kind of for playtesting. Saturdays we're shooting more for a tournament day. But as I said, we get tournament kits in October, so until then, it'll probably just be a free play day for anybody who wants to learn the game, play around for fun. Or we could do tournaments for free just to kind of get the feel of tournament rules, tournament regulations, and so on and so forth, until we get product in for our prizing and promos and such and so forth. But I got a deck profile for you guys today. First one on the channel. Second deck that I've built. First deck was Broly, which was basically the starter deck with just some added stuff, but I decided to go with Gohan. Despite Android 17 being my favorite character, so Android 17 is my favorite character, then it's Broly, then it's Gohan. So I didn't build 17 yet. I do plan on it, but I haven't built 17 yet. And Broly was just, I didn't really care for the Broly leader. It was like, it's good. Do not get me wrong. It is really good. I just don't like the fact where when you awaken, you have to take your life and add it to your energy. So it's basically you're burning energy. So at 4, you go from 4 to 3 with, an extra energy, which is cool. But this deck, ramps enough energy to where we don't really, that big, losing that leader effect is a little bit different. For something a little bit better, in my opinion, as far as aggression and defensive capabilities. So this is our energy markers. This is just for if you start second, you get a free energy, as rules state. But going forward, we have the Gohan childhood leader. So most of these leaders in Fusion World, I would probably say 98% of them, all have the basic just when attacking, draw a card, awaken at 4, flip this card over, draw a card. Some of them have crit with no draw attack. Some of them awaken at 3. Some of them do. But 98% of the leaders so far, as of set 3 releasing this past weekend, about 98% of the leaders are your basic when attacking, draw a card, awaken at 4, draw a card when you flip. So the other side is when attacking, draw a card, of course, and then active battle once per turn during either player's turn. It's just once per turn, remember that. Place one of your energy in your drop, and this card gets 15k power for this battle. So you can use it defensively, you can use it offensively. Now, why would we want to burn an energy? That sounds stupid. Doing that in old Super would have been a horrible decision. Not in this game. In this game, you don't mind burning energy, especially with this deck, because you ramp so quickly. I've had games where they start with an energy marker. So I go first. They start with an energy marker, which gives them energy over me because they'll... so for first turn, you just charge from your hand. Second turn, whoever's going second gets an energy marker, which can be used as an energy, but once it's used, it's gone for the game, unless you're a black player. The Bardock player gets to, bring back energy markers if you don't have one, but that's beside the point. And you get to charge. So basically, whoever's going second gets 2 energy, because you get an energy marker and whatever you charge. So I've had times where I go first, and I'm behind an energy, basically. And by the time the game ends, even with burning some energy here and there, sometimes I'm 2 or 3 energies ahead of them. And they started out ahead of me by 1. Keep that in mind. This deck ramps a lot of energy, so we really don't mind doing the burn. Also, there's another card in here that works really well with that. I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, so active battle. Once per turn, when you place an energy from your drop to your drop, from your place a card from your energy to your drop. Excuse me. This card gains 15k for the power. So instantly, you do that without even comboing. We're a 35k, whether we're attacking or whether we're defending. So I really like that card. I really like the offensive and defensive capabilities of that effect there. So yeah, and then going forward, our 1-drops. This is our turn 1 plays or late game if we're searching for stuff. Son Gohan Childhood. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You don't reveal them. You just look at them. You only reveal the card that you add. Keep that in mind. So you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then reveal up to 1 card with the cost of 5 or less and Saiyan in its special traits and add it to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of your deck in a random order. So that's another thing to think about. Some decks say in any order you choose. Place it on the bottom in any order. Blah, blah, blah. This game, a lot of them says place them in a random order. So be mindful for that. So yeah, you look at the top 3. You don't show the 3 you add. The 3 you look at. You only show the card you're adding. So yeah, and then 5k combo power costs 1, 5k. Nothing special other than that. It's a searcher. It searches all of our decks. There's a couple cards in here that aren't Saiyans. We'll get to that in a moment. There's not many of them. Like 99% of this deck is Saiyans. However, a lot of them are not 5 or more. We have a lot of 5 or less Saiyans, but we do have a lot of 5 or more Saiyans as well. So it's kind of, but this looks for 5 or less Saiyan. Some effects say 5 or more Saiyan. That's why I mentioned that. But going forward, so yeah, on play, top 3. Reveal the card that you add as if it's a Saiyan that's cost 5 or less. You reveal that card, add it to your hand. Randomize the other 2 that you put to the bottom. And then our last 1-drop, which I was considering running another 1-drop. I'll show you guys at the end of the video. But the last 1-drop we play is just a simple draw 1. You play the Goku, draw 1 on play. That's it. He's combo power after that. If we really want to attack, we'll attack. We typically don't because he's a 5k, but I mean, do you? If you want to push for game and you have a handful of cards to dump and you have a 5k to swing with, do it. And then next for our level 3s, our 3 costs, I should say. This is not Digimon. Our 3 costs, we have the Vegeta from the starter deck, Broly, which is a really good card. It's a critical for 20k, 3 costs, and it has a permanent that if you have 6 or more energy, which is super easy to get to. If you have 6 or more energy, it gets 5k power extra. So that's permanent. That's not during your turn or your opponent's turn. That's permanent. If you have 6 or more, he is a 25 on both players' turn. And he always has the crit. So really good card. We love our crit. We love our pseudo hand destruction where we attack their life and they don't get to keep the card. We like doing that. And now this card, this is kind of an up in the air card. I love this card. My locals hates this card. Not in the sense where it's a good card or they hate it. It's a sense where it's a card they feel sucks. And thinks it doesn't belong in the deck. I disagree. I respectfully disagree. So it's a Trunks for 3 costs, 20k, 5k combo. It is a blocker. And then when KO'd, if your leader is a childhood Son Gohan, which ours is, you may add the top card of your deck to your energy, not rested. Some cards add them from the top to your energy rested. Some of them just add them, period. On KO, so if they swing and you block, and Trunks dies. If you're Gohan, which we are, we'll get to charge the top card of our deck and our energy unrested. So we get to use it if we need to. Now, their gripe with that is, well, red power reduction gets around the KO, which it does if y'all didn't know that, by the way. So if he was to get hit with a minus 20k, he would die by the game mechanic, but he's not necessarily getting KO'd, so I would not get that effect. Or, well, what if they bounce him? What if it's a blue deck and blue bounces? Because you know blue bounces, green KOs, yellow taps it down and has to attack into it. Unfortunately, that's the worst removal in the game, but it is nonetheless removal. Blue bounces, green KOs, yellow taps and swings into. Red reduces the DP to 0, or reduces it and you can swing into it and it's weaker. Black, I really don't know what Black has some KO cards. So I would say they're also kind of like with green, they KO stuff. So basically, if we're going against red, if it's early enough and we feel like they're not going to commit, because a lot of times red usually has to commit a card or two to reduce this, because we're at 20k here. Like if we're going against Beerus's Awakened side reduces it by 10. Okay. But usually they have to play another card and hit this. While as at that point, it's kind of sometimes, unless it's the only card in your field, you could use this as a scapegoat against red if you want to protect something else. So if you have a card, let's say this is a really good card, a really important card you want to maybe push for game. And instead of hitting this with the reduction, the power reduction, they'll hit this just to get the blocker off the board because they don't want you to get an extra energy ahead of them. So situations like that, you know. But usually later in the game, if I feel like they could, you know, play a card, reduce this by 10, play a card, reduce this by 10, because I know the Whis, there's a Whis on play, reduces it by 5. There's another Whis where it's active main, reduce it by 5, and then the Beerus can reduce it by 10. So, and the two Whis are 1-drops. So if they can literally pay 1 for one Whis, reduce it to 10, reduce it to 15, pay 1 for the second Whis, reduce it to 10, and then the Beerus can reduce it to 0. So if it's later in the game or something like that, or if I feel like I'd rather make them commit to killing this card as kind of a sleight of hand thing, where it's basically a look over here, handle this card while I'm really setting up this over here situation. Otherwise, we can charge it or combo it. It's really not that bad of a card. It's not a dead card regardless. We can always just play it and swing with it. It's a 20k 3-drop if we need. And then it's a blocker if we need against the other decks. So it's never really... And then we also have another card in here that I'll show you guys later that can protect it from blue, because blue can always also hurt this card too, where it can either bounce it to the hand or it can bounce it to the bottom of the deck. So getting around that KO, win KO'd effect. But we do have a card in here that can protect that. It just doesn't protect from the red's reduction, because if a red card, if you reduce this to 0, it's getting removed by game mechanic, not necessarily an opponent's effect. And the card that I'm mentioning, which I'll show you guys later, protects my 3 costs from being removed by your opponent's effects. So it prevents it from being KO'd, it prevents it from being bounced. But that's kind of really it. Yellow can still tap it and swing into it if it wants. We're still getting the KO'd effect, which is what we want. Unless they stun it, because yellow can also, you know, tap something and then it can't unsuspend until the next turn. But, you know, other than that, I love Trunks. I love playing Trunks. I love they swing. I tap it, it dies, I'm an energy ahead of them, or I'm caught up. I personally like that. And honestly, as long as I'm playing Gohan, I don't see that card really coming out of the deck. I just don't. Any other deck, it sucks, because you have to have it's named. It says you have, if Gohan is your leader, add the top card of your deck to your energy. So it's, if you're not playing Gohan, it's really a card you're not playing at all. Now to our 4 costs. I'm not particularly fond of this card, but it is ramp. It just ramps from the hand is the only issue. So basically, it's a -2 as far as hand. What's it called? The hand advantage. Hand advantage. So you play this card. Now you don't have to. It does say add up to 1 card from your hand to your energy. You don't have to. If you want to play this for 4 and just have a 25k to attack with, do it. But typically, you play this from hand and you add a card from your hand to your energy. So basically, you're losing this card because you're playing it, and then you're losing another card because you're playing it in your energy. Sometimes that's the play. Sometimes you might have a dead card in your hand. Sometimes you just need to get that ramp going, and you really need to start getting out in front as far as energy. It's just the fact that you take it from hand is the part that I don't like. But other than that, it's a fine card. If I don't need to do the effect, it's combo, or it's energy, or I'll just pay the 4 to swing with a 25 if I need a big dude. It's really not that bad of a card. I always find a use for it. And then our other level 4 cost is really good card, and I'm glad I picked these up when the price dropped. I was looking at this card when the game first came out, and it was like a $13 card. I'm like, man, that's a good card. Finally, it dropped down to like $2.50 a piece, and I picked me up the playset for $10. Finally, since then I think it's gone back up to $5. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. Really good card for green. So for 4 costs, Vegeta for 20k. It's a 10k power, a combo power. On play, add up to 1 card with 3 or more from your drop to your energy in rest mode. So there's your rest mode. And there's also your 3 or more. See, we have cards that say, do this, grab this card that's 3 or more. Grab this card that's 5 or less. Grab this. But this one in particular is add up to 1 card with 3 or more cost of 3 or more to your energy in rest mode. So some of them, like for example, this Goku, you just add it to your energy, unrested. Get to use it that turn if you want. The Vegeta, you add it to your energy rest mode, so you don't get to use it that turn. But it has a neat little other effect. Active main, once per turn, you discard a card from your hand to choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with cost 2 or less and KO it. There's a lot of 2 or less cards out there that are problematic. The Whis that I mentioned, there's sometimes they'll have Beerus will have a Whis on board, that active main Whis that just gets to -5k something each turn for -5. That could be a problem. We might want to get rid of that. They might have Cell Jr. or something, or they might have something that's just a problematic 2 or less cost card. That'll help us get rid of it if they're not swinging with it. If they're swinging with it, by all means, run into the dude. If they're not swinging with it, they're trying to keep it alive, just do its shenanigans, we'll pitch a card to kill it. No big deal. But I love Vegeta. Vegeta's such a good card. Very, very good ramp card. Like I said, the way I look at it is this ramps from hand, get to use the card. This ramps from your drop area, but it's specific, and it comes in rest mode. But it also gets to kill something 2 or less if you discard a card. So, there's, multiple uses for both cards. Next, we're moving on to our 5 costs. And this is the card that I was talking about that could protect our Trunks. It can also protect our Vegeta. Our Vegeta that has crit. So the permanent, all of your battle cards with 3 costs, not less, just 3 costs. They have to be 3 costs. Which means the 1-drops aren't protected. Only the Trunks and the Vegeta are the 3 drops of this deck. See, we go to 4 after that. So only the Trunks and the Vegeta, only the father and the son, are protected by Gohan. All of your battle cards with a cost of 3 can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. So that's what I was talking about. It gets around the blue, the bouncing. It gets around the green. They can't KO it, although that's what we want. But anyway, they can't bounce it. They can tap it, like yellow. They can tap it. And red can reduce it to 0. Because red reducing it to 0 is removing it by game mechanic. Because it falls to 0. It dies at 0. When it hits 0, it can't stay in the field at 0. So by game mechanic, it kills it. So it does get around the red effect of reduction. Does get around this effect. Keep that in mind. But then on the end of your turn, choose one of these effects. You may play one battle card with 3 or less from your hand, or you may choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 or less and KO it. So this plays our Trunks for free, or our Vegeta for free, or it could kill one of their 3 or lesses. So along with the Vegeta, it's a little bit more, it's KOing. It's getting rid of problematic cards that are 3 or less without the discard, which is really cool. And then he's a 5 cost, 10k combo, 30k if we want to swing with it. Typically, we won't swing with it. If we have 3 costs in the battle area, like our Trunks, typically we won't swing with it because we want to protect the Trunks. Because if we swing with this and we leave the Trunks up, they can always swing into this, kill it, and then now they can deal with the Trunks because he's not protecting Trunks anymore. So typically I like to keep this up unless I'm really trying to push for a game-winning scenario. And then next are level 5s. 3 of the Son Gokus. This card I really enjoy. Really goes work in tandem with this, like I mentioned earlier. So when this card is played, or when a card is placed in your drop from your energy. So that in active battle, place one of your energy in your drop. This card gains 15k power for the battle. That triggers this. So on play, or whenever we lose an energy, whenever your energy is placed in the drop, add the top card of your deck to your energy in rest mode. So basically, just using this for example, let's say defensively or offensively, we do the active battle, we burn our energy, send it to the drop. This is on the field. We'll grab the top card of our deck, add it to our energy in rest mode, like we never lost our energy almost. Which is why this works so good with this leader. I did play it at 4, but I took it out for something that I'll show you guys shortly. But I might bring it back to 4, honestly. I really like this card. I went against Bardock this past weekend. Not in a tournament setting, because like I said, we're not really doing tournaments right now. We're just kind of play testing the hell out of our decks, trying to get them, ready for whenever tournaments do come. And I played against Bardock for the first time. Didn't really know what Bardock does, except for I knew he looked at the top card of his deck and he could use it for a combo. I knew that. But he played the Bardock from the starter deck, where if you have 2 cards in your combo, KO a card, just KO a card, period. No cost stipulation or anything. And he KO'd this the turn after I played it. So I played it. I did the effect, I got the, because it's on play. It's when it's played, or when you burn an energy. You may put the top card of your deck to your energy in rest mode. So I played it, put the top card of my energy in rest mode, but I was about to awaken, because I wasn't awakened yet, but I was at like 5 life. And he was swinging with a double striker. So, but when he swung, he comboed with 2 things and he killed this, and I was just like, what? And for the rest of the game, I didn't see any more Gokus. Or I had 1 charge already, and I didn't see the 3rd one, so I might bump this back up to 4. But a really good card, 25k, 5k combo, 5 costs. Yeah, really good for energy manipulation, getting more energy than your opponent. Our last level 5 is from the starter deck, 3 Turtleses. We used to run 4. 4 wasn't, I don't know, 4 is just, this card's good, but I really don't know about 4 of. Because we still want some good combo power, and this is only 5k. So 5 costs 30k, it has crit, and then on play, add 1 card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy. Not rested. So this one adds it just straight from your drop to your energy. It just has to be a cost of 3 or more, which is a lot of the deck. A lot of the deck is 3 or more, so usually we're hitting those, that Vegeta effect and that effect, we're usually hitting that pretty well. We're not much of an issue. We can normally set that up easily also by comboing. So yeah, so it's a critical hit. You know, it's a critical swinger. We love our crit, like I said. And on play, add a card with 3 or more power from your drop to your energy. So it's energy ramp and it's a critical hit, you know, all in one. So that's it for our 5 costs. Moving on to our 6 costs. We're almost done. We play 3 of our, what I call recovery. It's a recovery is a Digimon term. 3 of our recovery Gohan. So real simple, 6 cost, 35k, 5k combo. On play, add a top card of your deck to your life. You just gain a life. That's all it is. That's all it does. That's all it needs to do. Just gain a life. And then something to help him with this, which this is the card that I took out the 4th Goku. Where's that? This Goku. This Goku. This is the card that I took out the 4th Goku for, which I'll probably take it out and put the 4th Goku back in, to be honest with you, because it hasn't really done too much crazy. Android 16. Android 16 is a 6 cost, 15k, which is what we don't like. That's what we don't like about this card. It's a 6 card, 15k. If it was a 6 card, 20k, 25k, maybe, but it's a 6 card, 15k. Where we like it is it's a blocker that says, when KO'd, play a Son Gohan Childhood from your drop with a play cost of 6 from your drop. So if this is in the drop area from, let's say, early game. Let's say I use it to combo. It's in the drop. We play this, hopefully not against the red deck, because red can easily kill this. Against red, this is combo or charging. We're not playing this card against red. 20 is a little bit harder to hit. The Trunks is a little bit harder to hit, or they have to commit to it more to handle it. And Trunks only costs 3. We're paying 6 for this card. We don't want it to be a waste. So if we're going against red, we typically will either just combo this or charge it. But any other deck, it's okay against. So it's a blocker. We block on KO. Play a Gohan from drop to your 6 from drop. So basically, what we'll do is we'll have a Gohan and drop. They'll swing with something. We'll block. This dies. We'll play the Gohan and add a life. So basically, they're swinging, thinking that they're going to take a life, but we defer the damage by blocking it, and then when he dies, we gain a life. So they're swinging at me, thinking that they're going to take a life, when really I'm going to be gaining a life. Unless they read this card, you know. And then last, our level 6s are what I call our game enders. We get them down to 2 life. Android 17 and 18. So technically I do get to play my favorite dude. In this deck, I play all my favorite cards. It's just some cards are more outshined than others. Because like I said, this is a Gohan deck. We play a lot of Gohans. We play the one-drop Gohan that searches the top. We play the Gohan Future right here. Yeah, we play a lot of Gohans. Gohan's our leader. Yada yada. But we still play 17 and his sister. So 6 costs, no combo power. Typically, really good cards have no combo power. So it's a double strike, so it's going to deal 2 damage when it hits. And then on play, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards with costs of 3 or less and KO them. So typically little low-level blockers. Typically problematic cards. You know, so on and so forth. It kills little dudes while swinging for a double strike, usually a game ender. So that's our double strike dude. I've thought about putting this to 3. I might even take one of these out and put a 3rd android. I don't know yet. I've play tested this deck a lot. Like, I don't have a single set 3 card of this deck. I've been playing this since set 1, and then I added like the Gohans, the Earthling Gohans. These I added last set. What else did I add last set? That was set 1. Okay, let's see. Son Gohan Future. Added last set, and then yeah, okay. So the only thing I added from set 2 was really the Gohan, the Future Gohan. Yeah, everything else has been set 1. So I've been playing this card since deck set 1. I played it in set 1, it was fine. I played it in set 2, it was fine. Just added the Gohan features. And I'm playing it now with set 3. Not a single set 3 card in it. And honestly, in playtesting Saturday, I was doing okay with it. Like, I mean, by no means isn't the best deck. By no means am I undefeated with it. But it performs well, and it performs how I like it. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. And then lastly, for our actual cards, battle cards that we played, is my other favorite dude, Broly. So like I said, we get to play all of them. We have Gohan as our leader. We got Gohan cards. We have the 17 energy marker where we play 17 and 18 as the double striker. And we got our Broly. So we're playing all 3 of our favorite characters here. Broly is an 8 cost 45k, 0 combo power. On play, draw a card to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And then when attacking, switch this card to active mode. So you basically, you play it, you draw a card, you kill something. And you get to swing twice with it. So it's basically another game ender to go with our double strikers. And then of course we got our super combos. And I mean, like, it is a battle card. We just don't play it for the 7. It's a combo. It's combo. It's all it's good for is combo. We might use it to charge with our effects if we have to grab something 3 or more costs. We've already used our super combo since we can't really add our super combo back, at least yet. We might use it to charge and stuff like that. But Vegeta's King Vegeta's our super combo, and it's basically when you use this card during your opponent's turn. So basically, if you're comboing with this offensively, it's just the 10k. If you combo with this defensively, so auto opponent's turn, when you use this card to combo from your hand, it gets an additional 10k combo. So if you're using this card defensively against your opponent, it's a 20k combo instead of a 10k combo. And then lastly, we play Gigantic Meteor. This card is really good as far as getting our power up there. You know, getting our dudes big. So for one, active battle, you may choose one of your leader or up to one of your battle cards, and it gets 15k power for the battle. Then if you have 6 or more energy, which is again really easy to do in this deck, add an additional 10k power for the battle. So if we're at 5 or less energy, this is 15k power. If we're at 6 or more energy, this is 25 power. So collectively, if we want, I've never done it, but just to kind of give you an idea, if we're swinging with something and we have 6 memory, and 6 energy, I'm thinking Digimon again, I apologize. If we're swinging with something and we have 6 or more energy, and we have 4 energy open, playing each of these is 100k. 25, 25, 25, 25. 15 plus 10, 15 plus 10, 15 plus 10, you get the idea. So that's why I was saying sometimes if you really want to, you know, let's say we're at 6 energy, they have 1 life left. We'll swing with this, or we'll you know, we have 6 energy. Pay 1, search the top 3, yada yada. Whatever. Swing. They might laugh at you. Haha, you're swinging with the 5k. Yeah, I am, and I have 4 energy up. Any blockers? Because there's no negates in this game. And they'll be like, no. If they have no blockers, they'll be like, no. So I'll be like, okay, so pay 1. We're at 30. Blah, blah, blah. We're at 105,000 power. And, you know, you might have other cards in your hand to combo with. We might have we might have a Goku. Or, you know, boom. 125,000. You know, just, it's something like that, you know. It could get it could get real cheeky real fast with the power with this deck, because it's easy to get the 6 energy. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the deck. That's Son Gohan. I love this deck. Like I said, I've been playing it since set 1. I've enjoyed it. I've only added the Gohan from set 2 to it. So basically, this is still a 98% set 1 deck, and it's still running fine as of this past Saturday. I tested it, and regularly testing with it. for fun, because sometimes I do bring it out before our Digimon tournaments on Friday. And I just play with people who do play it at Anubis, just for fun. We're not really having a community over there for it since Masters died over there. So it's been performing fine. I mean, like I said, we're not really in a tournament setting here. But as far as what we've been doing the last couple months, deck's fine. It's a grind, I tell you that. With all the energy adding and the Gohan adding your life and the blockers to prevent your attacks and the KOs and stuff like that. Games can go kind of long, especially if it's a green mirror. And, we're both ramping energy. We're both, gaining life or whatever. Because Cell does it too. Cell gains life, I think, too. But yeah, so deck's been performing fine. I haven't seen anything in set 3 I want to add to it. So I guess we're just going to keep it as is. I do plan on building Android 17, though. I just got to get around to it. Let's see, I got the leaders of all my favorites. Got Gohan, Broly, and 17. So I will eventually get around to building 17 because it's my favorite, and it's doing really good right now. I'd say it's meta right now. But right now this isn't my only deck, but this is my best deck. This is the deck I put the most time into. I do have a Beerus deck. That's red. That's for fun and stuff like that, and it does well enough. But this is the deck that I've put most of my time, most of my effort into, most of my play testing and editing and ideas into this deck. And I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you look forward to our Dragon Ball content coming soon. Again, if you're in the Lafayette, Louisiana area, we get together on Saturdays at 1 at Sanctuary Games and Comics on Ambassador. They also get together sometimes on Wednesday evenings for playtesting around 6. We have tournament promos and kits coming in October, and Sanctuary is going to be having products starting in December as far as boxes and packs go. Okay? Well, I hope you guys enjoy the deck profile. I hope you guys look out for the rest of my profile, rest of my stuff, rest of my deck profiles, rest of my discussions, all that stuff. I do have Digimon stuff coming also. I know the channel has been a little dead lately. I've been busy. I don't know if I'll mention this in the recent videos, but I got a new job. That's keeping me busier than I have been. So yeah, just been busy. But I'm trying to find some time to give you guys some profiles, some gameplay. Definitely gameplay. I know you guys like your gameplay. But just giving you guys what you want to see. Some pack openings, some deck profiles, some gameplay. Trying to give it to you guys. Dragon Ball is back, I would say, in full swing. We have Digimon going stronger than ever. We have EX7 coming up. There's 3 decks that I want to build in EX7. So be on the lookout for those profiles coming soon. I do have a profile I'm going to be doing soon with decks that I have currently. So also be on the lookout for that. Those decks have been performing really, really well too. So be on the lookout for that, guys. And then until next time, Limit Break TCG out.